This video is brought to you by CoolStuffInc.com and GatheringMagic.com, your place to explore the game.
My name is Victor, and this is my Kaalia Vivast Commander deck. Okay guys, here is Kaalia. She's a 4-drop 2/2 flyer, and whenever she attacks, you may put a demon, angel, or dragon creature from your hand onto the battlefield, tapped and attacking. So, turn 5, you're getting or maybe even, earlier than that, turn 3, you can get her out. You are getting a huge creature onto the field. So, she's definitely one of the most aggro EDH decks. Alright, so here are my lands. I have two plains, 8 swamps, and 5 mountains. After that, I have a Sacred Foundry, Temple of the False God, an Eiganjo Castle, Temple of Triumph, Sejiri Steppe, Opal Palace, a Blood Crypt, Temple of Malice, Reflecting Pool, Temple of Silence, Command Tower, an Isolated Chapel, a Clifftop Retreat, City of Brass, Caves of Koilos, a Godless Shrine, Dragonskull Summit, Boros Garrison, Sulfurous Springs, Akoum Refuge, Hall of the Bandit Lord, gives her haste. So this is a great hand to get, great land to get in your opening hand. Oops, sorry about that. Battlefield Forge, and an Herbborg Tomb of Yawgmoth. Right after that are some of my sorceries and instants and such. So I have a Planar Cleansing, so I can just wipe the board. Enchantment Necropotence, one of the most broken black cards in EDH. You skip your draw phase, and whenever you discard card, it exiles it. But you may pay 1 life and set aside cards from the top of your library, and then during your draw step, you put those in your hands. So this is a great way, once you get any fatties out of your hand, if you need more, you can just basically draw into them until you get them. So it's a great card to have, especially for 3 black. After that is Terminate for some removal, Swords of Plowshares, Demonic Tutor up any of my big creatures, removal, just kind of self-explanatory. I have an Oblivion Ring here, a Stave Off, mainly give Kaalia protection. Because she is such a dangerous creature, she draws a lot of hate whenever I play her, although I usually do play her 1v1 because aggro decks tend to not be that great in a multiplayer setting, but it's great if someone wants to kill her or anything. Mortify, and here's a Diabolic Tutor. Okay, I do have a Boros Charm in here, just because it's so useful. Steel Shaper's Gift is a way to get any of my protection equipments from my deck onto the battlefield. This helps a lot with giving her equipment that protects her. That's pretty much the only equipment I have in here, and protecting her is #1 priority because this deck is kind of falls apart without her. Here's a Seize the Day. This is basically 4 mana, untap target creature. After this phase, there's an additional combat phase, followed by an additional main phase, so it grants you 2 attacks in 1 turn. That alone usually finishes somebody, but if not, I can usually pay its flashback cost, so that's quite the beating. Sign in Blood for some card draw. Dreadbore, get rid of Planeswalkers. Brave the Elements, again, to protect her, and most of my angels. An Unmake, for some more kill. Banishing Light, and an Armageddon, which, as you'll see later, works well with Avacyn. I'll explain that. Here's some of my artifacts. I run all the signets that work in these colors, because they let me get her out turn 3. Whispersilk Cloak, unblockable. That's, as long as less damage she takes, the better. A Boros Signet, again, same reason for the Orzhov one. Swiftfoot Boots, an Amulet of Vigor. The creatures she puts in come in tapped, so I find that especially as a 1-drop, this card helps a lot with getting it so I can actually have blockers even though I attack, and especially for 1-drop, that comes in handy. Lightning Greaves, again, you want to be attacking as fast as possible with her. A Soul Ring, Rakdos Signet, Chromatic Lantern. Pretty much any multicolor commander deck could use one of these. Yeah. Strionic Resonator. This lets you copy her ability for 2 mana. So you're putting 2 fatties onto the field in 1 turn. That's nice. All right. Here are the creatures, the bread and butter. Rakdos the Defiler. You only swing. You're not really declaring him an attacker, but you put him on the field once, and that just wrecks like the other person's board state. They're sacking quite a few permanents, especially late game. This end game right here. Harvester of Souls, because a lot of creatures tend to die. In EDH, I use that just for some card draw. It's also 5/5 Death Touch for 6, so pretty good value. Lord of the Void lets me take people's creatures from their deck. Kakusha the Evening Star. He might be back. I know he was banned. I don't know if he still is from being a commander, but he's really useful. Which whenever he dies, each opponent loses 5 life. You gain life equal to the life lost this way. So putting at least like a 10-point life difference between you and somebody else. Angel of Serenity, put her in, and then I exile any potential blockers or just commanders, creatures I don't like. So she's very useful. Scourge of the Throne. Alright, as long as Dethrone is active, which is whenever you are attacking the player with the highest life total, it's whenever he attacks for the first time each turn. If it's the attacking player with the most life or tied for the most life, untap all attacking creatures. After this phase, there's an additional combat phase. Basically, just abusing Kaalia's ability. There's quite a few cards that do that in here. But Garden Hellkite, put him down, deal 5 damage, divided as I choose. Maybe if there's no creatures I want to kill, or burn, I just deal 5 damage to them, just more damage to the opponent. Matches of the Moat, one of the few non-demon angel or dragon creatures in here. It's a 4-drop, creatures without flying can't attack. Makes it so I'm usually the only one that can attack, which is, it doesn't make any friends, but why not? Gisela, Blade of Gold Knight, just overkill at this point. Everything I have is dealing double damage, and everything else my opponents are using is dealing half. So nah, people don't really like her. Really, the War Leader works similar to Scourge of the Throne, only you don't need Dethrone. So whenever she attacks for the first time each turn, untap all creatures, and there's an additional combat phase. Admonition Angel, she has a landfall trigger. It lets you exile target non-land permanent. Although when she dies, you do have to return them, but she's just good at getting rid of stuff. Also, because she's white, I can protect her quite easily. Desecration Demon is one of the demons I usually don't actually put down with Kaalia. I'll cast him. That way I'm still getting a beefy creature, relatively early game. Another card similar to him that I usually just cast is Baneslayer Angel. BS Angel. 5/5 for 5. And she has Flying, First Strike, Lifelink, Pro from Demons and Dragons. So she's probably like one of the most broken cards, at least for mana cost. Iroh's God of Victory. Really helps with aggro decks. Creatures you control can't be blocked except by 2 or more creatures. Prevent all damage that would be dealt to attacking creatures. Just helps all my stuff get through without getting killed. Chroma, Angel of Wrath. She's like the beater angel, and I think she has cool card art, but she is a 6/6 with flying, first strike, vigilance, trample, haste, pro from black and red. So black is definitely one of the most colors that probably want to get rid of anything I have. So she is usually not susceptible to that. I have us an Angel of Hope. You know, I got this card for $5 and a like Beat to Hell Warhammer 40k book, so you know that was some major gains right there. But she makes all my permanents indestructible. On top of that, she's an 8/8 flyer with vigilance. You'll recall I had Armageddon there later, so if you throw her down and then Armageddon, you basically get rid of only your opponent's lands, and you get to keep yours. So, I mean, that's, people usually just fold at that point, which is understandable. Balefire Liege, one of the other non-Demon Angel or Dragon tokens, helps keep Kaalia out of burn range, and buffing, you know, any other creatures I put down. And just whenever, you know, I play a spell of any of Kaalia's colors except for black, deal 3 damage and gain 3 life, so he's pretty good. After that is Master of Cruelties. Now, if Master of Cruelties and Kaalia gets through unblocked, this is usually, I mean, it is a one-hit kill, because he can't attack alone, but because you're putting him down with Kaalia, he's not being declared as an attacker. So their life total becomes 1, but then Kaalia also deals her damage. So that kills somebody, regardless of life total. Rakdos, Lord of Riots. I own a Shield of Emeria, another card that isn't very friendly. Put her down, choose a color. Your opponents can't cast spells of the chosen color. Obviously, amazing versus mono decks. Still, you know, a bitch versus anything. People don't like her either, so I tend to not actually play Avacyn. I own Massive Cruelties a lot, just because, you know, it kind of takes the fun out of EDH, but, you know, this being an aggro deck, you know, why not put them in? Utvara Hellkite, just spawns 6/6 red dragons. You know, he's kind of overkill, because at that point, like, he's doing so much damage. Hellkite Tyrant, there are a couple artifact decks in my play group, so especially if someone has a Mycosynthellatus out, it's very fun to hit them with him. And he basically takes every player's artifact as long as he deals damage, and he has trample, and he's flying, so you know he's not the easiest thing to block. As well as EDH has a lot of artifacts in it already, you know, even if it's not an artifact deck. So I mean, anytime he hits, he's usually taking something important, either helping you or just hurting them, or both. Steel Hellkite. His 2 abilities, just 2 colorless, gets +1/+0 until end of turn. But his second ability is what makes him good, and it's X, destroy each non-land permanent with converted mana cost X, whose controller was dealt combat damage this turn by Steel Hellkite. Activate this ability only once each turn, so you can deal some major damage with him. Moonveil Dragon, just another good dragon. 1 red mana, buffs all creatures I have. Runescar Demon, 6/6 flyer, that also lets me tutor for another fatty, which is nice. Oh, we have a white border here. Don't judge me, but she's a very fun card to play. Whenever she deals damage to the player, that player skips his or her next combat phase. Again, this draws a lot of hate, especially for the rest of the night, because, you know, they can't really do anything about her usually. So she's good, just making sure I don't get hit back. Bladewing the Risen, he's kind of like I'm looking for a replacement card for him, but whenever he enters the battlefield, I return a dragon permanent card from the graveyard to the battlefield. Usually, if there is ever a point where, like, a lot of my creatures are in the graveyard, I've usually lost at that point. Like, this deck is either winning by, like, turn, like, 8 or so, or it just doesn't work. A Resolute Archangel, I actually never realized, like how powerful this card actually is until I actually saw another Kaalia deck using it. I went to the M15 pre-release, and it never really occurred to me that, you know, it's an angel, and her ability is just ridiculous. Like, things aren't going my way, I put her down, and I'm right back into the game. After that is Blood Gift Demon, for some more card draw, as well as being a 5/4 flyer. Aegis Angel, I may give another target permanent indestructible when she enters the battlefield, which really helps protect Kaalia. Angelic Skirmisher. I usually hardcast her, and then whenever at the beginning of each combat phase, you may choose First Strike, Vigilance, or Lifelink. Creatures you control gain that ability until the end of turn. Vigilance if I'm needing some blockers, or Lifelink if I just want to, because the power and toughness is usually so high on these creatures, I can gain a lot of life using her. Deathbringer Liege, again, bumps Kaalia out of burn range for the most part, and helps me actually kill some creatures as long as I'm playing white or black spells. Mother of Runes, 1 drop, a target creature you control gains protection from the color of your choice until end of turn. Again, helps protect Kaalia. Oops, sorry about that. Angel of Despair, when she enters the battlefield, destroy target permanent. She's good at just removing anything, literally anything I do not like from the game. And then my final card is Skithrix the Blight Dragon. He is a 4/4 infect that you may regenerate for 2 black, or give haste for 1 black, which is most of the time irrelevant, but he's pretty and he's foil. And winning with infect is fun sometimes. So there's my deck. Alright, you guys have been watching CMDR decks at YouTube, and if you liked the video, please like, comment, or subscribe. Thanks for watching.